Howdy folks, this is a Wednesday morning shave for me, and today's soap, Strike Gold Shave Nixon. This has a lemon citrus type scent to it. That's the consistency of the soap, and it's very soft. Didn't take hardly any effort to put push your finger in there. It's closer to a cream, I would say. It smells great, and I also have the matching splash to go along with it. Got the trusty Allen block with the rubber band around it. We'll be using the Cremo Cream beard balm off camera. That's what it looks like. Has a spearmint scent to it, and the witch hazel of the days, Humphreys. And I do already have some of it whipped up here. It's with my Omega boar hair brush, and I've got a little bit on the wet side. I have a tendency to like it that way. That's what it looks like in a bowl. And the shaver of the day is my shaver with a Parker SRX all steel construction. It has a Personna mini blade in it, and I've already put a hot towel to the face. Bloom water's been to the face. Go ahead and wet the face. We'll get lathered up here, get started. It is getting closer to the election. Not that the election hasn't been warm to begin with. It has been kind of interesting to listen to about the polls on how far ahead somebody might be or may not be, and the very next day it'd be something different. In other words, some of it I find comical. How things are slanted one way or the other. This is pretty good stuff. So far I haven't seen any of Frank's soaps that doesn't seem to lather up rather nicely. Frank can be found on Etsy. If you like any of his soaps or are interested in getting his soaps or his splash, get it while it's on there, because he's not a typical, I guess you might say, storefront on Etsy when it comes to soap and splashes. You know how a lot of them say that their soaps are made in small batches. And I'm not saying this to be negative or anything like that. To me, I'm in that kind of mood where I find things interesting, kind of funny. Not only is it made in small batches, but when it's gone, and he's on to the next one. To me, it seems like that's a different kind of meaning than what we're used to thinking of when we're talking about small batches. Yeah, it's made in small batches and sold, and that's the end of that. So if you like it or want it, you better hurry and get it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. To me, for me, I kind of like it. It seems like to me that I guess you might say the storefront stays fresh. This injector blade, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, is not made for this Shavette. The injector blade is made by Personna. I think it's referred to as a mini hair shaper. It does fit. Looks just like that. The swing clamp seems to be holding it in place. The top of the two posts that are in there that typically would hold a half blade. That's where the top of the injector blade rests, is right up against that those two posts. And I'm unaware of any way to modify the blade itself to take more advantage of those two posts. The reason I say that is because it does get to the point where if it moves much further up inside, that you're not going to have enough blade exposure. At least it didn't seem like it to me. But it does seem to be holding in place just fine the way it is. It does give you a different shave feel compared to using a half blade, a DE blade in other words, in that the injector blade is thicker, and just because of that thickness it does give you a different shave feel. And either one, in other words, it still shaves just fine. It's just, like I say, just a different shave feel. And I kind of like this one better. The you might be able to compare it to, it's not in sharpness, just in the way that it feels, in other words, to like a feather. At least that's the way I look at it. I guess you might say, in other words, that's my experience. Yours might be different, and I'm assuming it will be. You may not like the way that it feels, and you enjoy the half blades. And it's not that I don't, I just thought I'd give it a try to see how it works, and it is a different shave feel. At least for me it is. Plan on changing up how I normally shave during the week. In other words, I usually have a single edge razor that I shave during the week. And starting, I think this coming weekend, if I got everything calculated out right, I plan on shaving, in other words, on Saturday with a single edge razor, and then on Sunday I'm going to shave with a DE razor. I do have a few of those DE razors I enjoy shaving with. And there's a few vintage Gillettes that I have that I need to try out. Adjustables. This will be pass number 2, more or less considered against the grain. I enjoy shaving with all those razors that I just mentioned. Shavette, single edge, double edge. it's all different kind of feel, different kind of shave. Different technique, if you will. If I remember right, I started shaving with the Shavette around somewhere, I think around January this year. It took me a moment to figure it out, but when I first started with the Shavette, I didn't realize it at the time, but eventually I figured it out that I was overstretching, so I've gotten better with the technique, in other words. I like this Shavette. All steel construction. I do like chrome. Come from, I guess you might say, that generation back in the day when the cars had a lot of chrome. Shiny chrome. It's just a good looking Shavette in my opinion. And the scales, or the handle if you will, a little thick. Not complaining at all. I think it's a good thing. I like it that way. In other words, a very durable construction. And I do understand if you like a lighter one. I do have some lighter ones that are nice to use. Sometime today we're supposed to be getting some more rain, even though it may sound like we get more than our fair share, but we're still rather dry here in Oklahoma. Last time I looked into it, I think we're still in a drought. Some counties aren't, but I think the county I'm in and nearby counties are in a drought. That's one thing about the handle of my glasses, they don't always agree. Frank also sells on his Etsy store straight razors. He also provides a service of sharpening, straight razors, honing in other words. And he sells some brushes too. Minion, if you're familiar with that animated series. Alright. I think we'll give the alum block a try and see what kind of report we get back on it. I really like this scent. I like the citrus scent. And this one here, at least to me that I have in my den, this one is the one that has the most lemon in it, it seems like to me. I like lime too. Those are great. Really enjoy those scents. Makes for a good day starting out with a bright scent like that. But I do also like tobacco scents, so I guess you might say I go from one end to the other. Alright. Yes, it was a good shave. At least according to the alum block. Not that I didn't already know that, but every once in a while I get this natural redness when I shave. It's not an irritation, it just naturally gets that way. Humphreys. I do find it kind of interesting sometimes when, at least it appears that way if you watch a video on how a person, when they put like witch hazel or the aftershave on. I guess maybe because my face has always been naturally tender, skin-wise, top of my head especially. Not that I haven't scraped off a few layers. Don't get too terribly rough on how I apply my witch hazel or splash. It smells good. No, not everybody may enjoy the citrus scents quite like I do. I may not want to run around smelling like a lemon or a lime all day, but it doesn't bother me any. I'd rather smell like that than to smell poorly. Alright, go back over what I shaved with today. Shaved with the Parker Shavette SRX with a Personna mini blade in it. The lather was whipped up with Omega boar hair brush and my bowl there. Splash, hand soap, matching, strike gold shave. Today's scent was Nixon. And yep, Humphreys was the witch hazel. And off camera I'll be putting on the beard balm here. Spearmint flavor. And of course I can't forget about the witch hazel. I mean the alum block with the rubber band. It's still early here. Just now 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody stay safe. Smooth shaves until next time.